it up has the first opportunity to speak on behalf of the motion, and then you go back and forth, pro, con. And you might ask yourself, okay, how would you know who's pro and who's con? Believe me, if you're in township government and there's an issue, you're going to know. But it's just a general rule that you go back and forth a balance between yes and no on every issue. And you may find nobody who has objections to it, and you might go to number 5 to vote fairly quickly. Notice there's a question mark. You may not get all the way through 6. And as you'll find later through the other motions that trump some of these, don't worry, because you don't need to know the 701 pages. Everybody has a motion chart, and if you refer to this, everything really is on there because there's a hierarchy of motions, as you'll learn through our other speakers today. The responsibility of the chairman isn't quite done there. Voting may be in your bylaws. There may be a method that you determine to do that. It might be by written ballot. It might just be by raising your hand and saying aye or standing. Presiding officer, I'll just give you an actual example here. The vote has been counted. The president will repeat the motion. It's always important to repeat that because that way everybody understands what's going on. It's one of the parliamentary procedure principles. There are 18 in favor and 14 opposed. The motion is adopted. Or, there are 14 in favor and 18 opposed. The motion is defeated. Now, an interesting point I picked out of this version of Robert's Rules of Order said never use the word passed. The motion has passed. It's confusing. Does that mean we passed, it went on, it didn't happen? Or it passed and we didn't? So the best words to use, a motion adopted or a motion defeated. So we have a vote, and then we have a result. And it is the responsibility of the presiding officer at that time to announce that as a result again, so everybody understands exactly what just happened. I've been to many meetings where you see it, you hear it, and everyone says, what just happened? The newspapers, we want to make sure they hear it right, usually. Our second session today is following your turn. So at this point, keeping in mind something that you'll need to know the rest of the workshop are the 6 steps of main motion. So we're on our agenda now. I'm your presiding officer. Who do I want to be? Who would I like to be? City Council. I'd like to be the president of City Council. That'd be fun. On our agenda here, we have next scheduled thing for, we're ahead of schedule, 1/4 till. It says that we'll be talking about things to do with the park. We finished our business. We still have a quorum, I believe. Does anybody have a main motion for the table, preferably about the park? Nancy.
Mr. President, we've had some problems with double booking at the community building, and I would like to see, make a motion that we put together a park committee.
Okay. Well, Nancy has provided us with a motion that the township, and correct me if I don't say this right, it's always good to clarify that you have it right with the person making the motion, and it's okay to ask them that. I understand Nancy's made a motion that our township form a, oh no, I'm city council. Our city form a park committee. At this time, we don't have a second, so what would happen? Exactly what's happening now, no conversation. Okay, but I did see a hand.
I second that.
Oh, okay, Angie Palmer, thank you. We have a first and a second, and I'll repeat it again. That's what I'm supposed to do as the president of City Council. We have a motion on the table. Sorry, it's not yours anymore. It's everybody's. And we're going to talk about that. We have a motion on the table that the city council form a park committee, and a second. So at this time, I'd like Nancy, you have the opportunity to speak on behalf of that motion.
Well, I know in the past it's been done to where one person just keeps the schedule and they're not very diligent with the schedule. And we've had a lot of hard feelings and a lot of interaction with the booking of that for parties and different things and community events. So we definitely do need a park committee to oversee this.
Thank you for speaking in favor of your motion. Angie, or does anyone have any further debate on that? Angie, see, and I'm not allowed to lead. As a president, it's important. I'm going to say, Angie, you have a problem with it. But as a president, can't you? Oh, yes, ma'am.
I have a comment I wish to make. Rather than have a committee where more people have to give up more of their evening time, I think it is important that the person who takes the position of being the person in charge of reservations do their job. And if your committee of people in charge needs to discipline that person, or that person needs to resign because they might have some family issues, that other ways you can do this other than have a committee.
Wow, this is hitting really close to home. Oh, that's right. What am I? City council. Okay.
Non-biased.
That's right, nonpartisan position. Okay, now at this point, I would go to the pro side, possibly. I don't really know.
It is actually pro, and with all due respect to Bonnie Lee, I think that although a park committee can help in this one instance to help establish some order with the booking, I think it would also be good for the city to have a park committee for other issues that might come up with regards to public space and things like that. So I think that there might be more use than just that one.
We still have plenty of time on our agenda. We're actually a little bit ahead. And I will point out here, if it was advertised in the paper that we were going to talk about that issue at 1:45, the president better not start talking about it ahead of time, if we're talking about a government entity. Anybody else have any other comments at this time about the motion on the table of forming a park committee for the city?